Happy birthday, Lambda! This month we're celebrating Lambda's 15th birthday. Lambda has become our beacon of hope and acceptance by the LGBTQ community at top of the world. And this wasn't just a birthday party, it's a family reunion of hearts unified by shared experiences, struggles, and triumphs, where we can be unapologetically ourselves, making us feel grateful where we are today. So let's go back and take a look about how we got here. 15 years ago, David Bevan dared to dream a dream. David envisioned a space where every member of the LGBTQ community felt seen, celebrated, and empowered. David wasn't just building a club, he was building a family. David's vision shows us what we can achieve when we come together. Behind every visionary leader, there's often an unsung hero, and that is his husband, Jack Kilgan. Jack has been a pillar of strength and support for David, and instrumental in the club's success. His unwavering dedication and love for David have been instrumental in the club's success. Jack's quiet generosity and unwavering belief in David's dream have made him an invaluable partner. Together, they embody the true meaning of love and commitment. Tonight, we'd like to ring that bell and acknowledge all you have done for Lambda. Now I'd like to turn this over to David and let him tell his story.
I remember back in the day, basically I'm from Maryland, and I moved down here in 1980. I was married at the time. We moved to Tampa, and I lived in Tampa for about 20 years. My mother moved down in 98, and we were looking around for a place for her, and she had a dog. It was a large dog. It was a chow, and a lot of places wouldn't take that. And when we came here, the people at the office at On Top of the World said, "Oh, we don't care what dog you take as long as it's a friendly dog." And so my mother said, "Hey, this is where I want to be." I remember when I moved into On Top of the World, that was 2005, and I moved in with my mother. I was still working, but my mother she was having a problem with Alzheimer's. So I had someone sit with her during the day, and then I would kind of come in and, I would stay overnight with her. When I got here, I was just, it was very much of a senior community. I didn't know anybody, and certainly I didn't know any gay people, but they did have that little thing called the internet, and I did meet a good person who was still a good friend of mine. He belonged to another club that was outside of On Top of the World. So I went to that with him, and there I met some people who lived here. I was surprised. There were 4 guys that lived here in On Top of the World. So we exchanged information, phone numbers, and then we started, getting together informally. We'd go to each other's houses for a little cocktail party or something like that. And those guys, they knew other people. So I said, "Whoa, wait a minute." So the group that we had kind of grew till we reached about a dozen people. Somebody had said, "Well, we should start a club here." So I didn't think too much of it. But then, a couple more months went by. This was in 2009. And I said, well, I guess I could try it. So I made inquiries about how do you start a club, and they gave me the paperwork. Said you had to have bylaws and you had to have officers, and so I sort of drew things up and I submitted it, and then I got a letter back and said, if the board has reviewed your application and they've accepted, you can form a club. And so we came up with the name Lambda Club for Liberation. So, and I wrote the first article and I took it to the newspaper, and the editor, he said, what, this was so pretty much different, totally unexpected. Nobody had told him about this. And I said, yes, we're recognized as a club. He says, well, wait a minute, let me check, And so he did get in touch with the board, people on the board, and they said yes. And so then he called me and said, yes, we'll put your article in the paper. That was in July of 2009. That was our first meeting. And at that meeting, we had 9 people. Currently, we have about 40 to 45 active members. And I have a mailing list of about 80. We have potlucks. We also have a little bar. It's nothing fancy, but it's just if somebody wants a cocktail or whatever, or they just have plenty of soft drinks too. The July theme is our annual birthday party. So I always order a cake in honor of it. And we have a little thing where, we bring gifts in. So everybody who brings a gift can get a birthday gift, and it's a drawing. And usually they're, whatever they are. They can be gag gifts or something that somebody thinks is nice to pass on to someone else. I try to have several things every week just to let people get to know each other and become friends. Another thing that we have done is we've supported several charities like Feeding Tampa Bay is one, especially like during the holidays when we do a Thanksgiving dinner and a Christmas dinner and Easter and those types of big holidays. And we collect money for that. We've also supported Neighborly. They're the ones that take people rides to the hospital and that type of thing. To the doctor's appointments. One thing that I would conclude is that On Top of the World is a great community to be in. So many activities, so many clubs. Lambda's a part of that, and we're all very happy to be here. So thank you. Oh, and by the way, this is my husband Jack, and we've been married since 2020 is when we got married. And so we're coming up on our 4th anniversary this year.
Yeah!